Thank you for joining Ride Fit Nation, hosted by Sensei. This is where you ride your ride and leave the excuses on the road. Our mission on this channel is to go for miles, money, and muscle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let's go.
All right, so now comes the big boy job. The rear tire. I've never taken off a rear tire of a motorcycle. This will be my first time, but guess what? I already know how to do it. So what I did, I took some nail polish, some white nail polish, and I made a marker here. This is gonna be my tension nut, the tension screw. This is gonna be maybe a 1 7/16 of an inch socket or a 1 3/8. The 1 17/16, this fits here, a little loose, whereas this one fits almost not. So it's a toss up between those two. And then I did the same exact thing on the other side. I have the tire jacked up just enough to where I can still get some rotation. And we're gonna go to the other side, and then we're gonna take our time. I also loosen down this slip-on to give me enough room to get inside of this, all right? So that's gonna be the thing that you do first. You mark this, so when you're done, you try to get that line back up, and that will give you your marker points of where this thing needs to be, okay? There's also a little line here that if you mark that line across to that line, you also have the accessibility to make sure that this belt is where it needs to be. So let's get this job done, man. First is try my best to get this thing pried up, right? I know you just gotta take your time, and this thing will fly all over the place, so just be careful as you pry it out, okay? I'm using a screwdriver. Okay, that's the first thing to worry about. That's out. Remember what I said, those markers are right here already. It's already marked. I'm gonna bring the bike back down so I don't have any spin. I could get this thing torqued down, get this thing off pretty easy. Ooh, this is tight. Here we go. This is torqued down to about at least 106 foot-pounds, about that. All right. So we got that off, and then we're gonna take this off and put that in a place that's safe, okay? And I'm gonna take a screwdriver and kind of get in between these brake pads and try my best to open up these brake pads just a little bit, not a lot, just to get those pistons to move out a bit, because we gotta get that off too. There we go. So I'm using just my ratchet. I have a jack underneath here. So I'm using just my ratchet to get this out. Okay. I got the other side out. So the piece that I'm looking at getting out is right here. I need to get this up and out. All right, there goes the spacer. That's the spacer right here. Got that out. I'm gonna lift this up, take my time, get it up out the way. I just need to get a little wiggle room to get this out. All right, so I'm almost there. Yes, got it up. All right, so I'm gonna take this up. I'm gonna rest this out right here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get something to rest over here just to keep everything here protected. So let's go to the other side. What happened to my t-shirt? I don't know. I need to get a t-shirt. Okay, bam. Now, this belt is what we gotta work on next. Okay, so with the belt, I need to basically push this forward a bit and kind of play around with this tire. Okay, so what I did, I just lift up the tire up a bit, and there's a spacer here on this side that's gonna come out. But I lift that tire up and got this belt off. All right, so that's a good thing. There we go. There goes that spacer. Now, on the spacer, it goes in, this one goes in like this. All right, I'm gonna jack it up higher. That way I can get this tire out of here much easier. There we go. Look at that, baby. It's off. All right. There it is. Got the 2. Got the 3. Got the 4. Got the 5. All right, now this, I gotta work my way up with this thing off. There we go. We're gonna get these down. I went and got the specs, the proper specs for this. So for the sprocket bolts, this is gonna be between 55 to 65 foot-pounds, right? So I'm gonna put my Loctite on here, and then I'm going to torque it down after I finish putting everything together, all right? .55 to 65, I'm going to set my torque value to 65. There you go. Do it again. There you go. I like to always do this twice. When I hear that click, and then I know I'm good. There we go. Nice. 2 more to go. There's something satisfying about that sound when it clicks, you know? Something very satisfying. Especially when you know you're following things to the specs of Harley-Davidson. Guys, invest in your torque wrench. Invest in them. There we go. The sprocket will be right where it needs to be. Good. The accident is going to be between 95 to 105 foot-pounds. The rotor bolts, those are going to be 30 to 45 foot-pounds. So I'm going to set this down ahead of time to about, I like to go to the highest point. So I'm going to go to 45 foot-pounds. All right, so I'm gonna put this jack in here, and I'm gonna take my time and just kind of push this jack forward as I lift this wheel up a bit, right? Just kind of roll it under there. And I'm gonna make sure that this belt doesn't fall out from where it needs to be. And I'm simply gonna start to jack this up a little bit and kind of start working my way up into lining this up with the opening, right? I'm just trying to get it to be as close to that opening as possible. Remember, make sure that this belt is where it needs to go, okay? Now, on this side, let me grab the camera and bring you guys over here real quick. I know it's kind of dark. I think I want to come on this side for y'all. So, this piece that we took off, I'm going to take this piece and make sure it locks in. All right? This has to lock in all the way. To make sure y'all can see me. Yeah. You know when you get this in because there's a little groove where this will lock in place and it will go over the rotor. And then there's a spacer that will also go in that spot. So it's a lot of wiggling and all kinds of craziness that's gonna need to be done. But, you know, piece by piece, we'll get it. You gotta wiggle this up. I lift this up first and then put the spacer in that space, in that lock point. And let's see if I can get the axle to start working its way through. All right. So now I'm gonna put this piece back on, the tension adjuster. I'll push this on. I don't even know what the hell they call it. I'm just making up names, okay? Because it just sounds good. That's what I'm talking about. So now look, you see this alignment? This needs to line up to that, the way I had it, which is awesome. This is already locked. The space is already there. I'm just gonna hand tighten this, and we're gonna torque this down to about 20 foot-pounds just to make sure we have the adjustment. Now look, this went out of alignment, so this is gonna be where we're gonna play around with the tire, okay? So I need to make sure that we can get this belt on, and I'm gonna have to play around with this tire because I need to get this thing to move in a little bit more, give me some free play for me to get this belt on. Yep, I gotta move this tire back some more. There we go. All right, so the belt is on. So what I'm gonna do now is make sure that the tension, as I tighten this up, that this is gonna stay aligned together. I'm gonna have to use another wrench. I don't think I have one that's wide enough. Let me see if this is wide enough. If it's not, oh yeah, that's wide enough. And as I torque the other one down, I'm gonna start to pay attention to how this tightens up and how this tightens up, okay? So let's go. And then I'm gonna baby this for now. I'm not gonna go crazy here. And I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna pay attention to where my alignment is at, make sure my alignment stays true to where it's supposed to be. So far, so good. There we go. Okay, so let's see what that did. That kept my alignment really good, actually perfect. And let's see what the other side does. Perfect. You can see the lineup, and you can see this lineup too. So like I was saying before, this goes up to about 95 to 100 foot-pounds, 105 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna start off by doing a short amount first. I'm gonna do 40 first and then work my way up. All right, so remember, I'm locking the other side with the wrench. Let me just put this piece in, get this up in here, and I'm gonna take my time and torque it down and pay strict attention to where I'm at with the markings, right? So here we go. All right, so that is 40. I'm gonna bring this up to about 60 next. Good, that's torqued in. Now I'm gonna go up to 105. There it is. And one more turn. I love that clank sound. Perfect. So now that is torqued down to specs. That lined up nicely. So we're now done with the install on the rear tire. Everything feels good. This is nice and solid. The brakes feel great. I got this nice set. If you want to know the set that I got from Harbor Freight, it's a Pittsburgh. As you know, Harbor Freight don't make the best tools in the world, but for the stuff that we're doing, this is perfect. And this kit is gonna last me a long time because I'm not doing nothing crazy. So this one goes up to, I'll show you guys in a second. This goes up to 38 millimeters, 36 millimeters, 35 millimeters, 34 millimeters, 32 millimeters. And we also have 30 millimeter and 29 millimeter. And that's how the kit looks. All right. So if you want to get that kit, I'm using a 36 millimeter on the axle, and I'm using my wrench that I got from Harbor Freight as well on the other side. This one can open up pretty wide enough to get the job done. All right, so let's move on to the next part.